Watch your thoughts, for they become your actions. Watch your actions, because they become your habits. Watch your habits, because they become your character. Watch your character, because it becomes your destiny. Old statement that's been around for many years, and a lot of truth to that. And it kind of reminds me, as we think about our Monday meditations, a passage that we've mentioned recently in the book of Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23 says, "Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life." You note that statement we said earlier. It began with watch your thoughts, because the thoughts have a way of showing themselves in the rest of us. And right now we're thinking on a lot of things. It's been said, and depending on which source you look at, that the average mind thinks anywhere from 20 to 70 or 80,000 thoughts a day, depending on which source you're looking at. That's a lot of thoughts. But those thoughts turn into actions, and then those actions help determine who we are and what we're going to be. Talking about destiny in the end, it's tied to, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. It's tied to the very core of who we are. What do you spend your time thinking about on a daily basis? How much of your time is spent thinking on things that are not that important, things that aren't a blessing to our lives, things that would maybe even cause us difficulties, depression, and hardships? We're told in the book of Philippians, in the book of Philippians chapter 4 and verse 8, that there's a certain list of things that we should be thinking about, a certain list of things that should consume our thought process and would help us out in those actions later on. He says, "Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true," we need to be thinking about true things. Just think about all of the thoughts that come into our minds that aren't true, that consume us. Well, we need to think about true things, and the greatest truth that we can think about is God's Word. Whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest. We need to be thinking about things that promote honesty. Jesus said, "Let your yes be yes and your no be no." So that's the way we should be. We should be honest, and we're to provide all things honest to all people, as Paul would say to the Roman church. Whatsoever things are pure, or whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, rather. Let's start with the just. We want to do what's equitable, what is right. God is always going to be just, and we like to think about God as being a God of grace and a God of mercy and a God of love and those things. And that's true, but He's also a just God, meaning He's going to do that which is right. And I need to be thinking about things that are right, things that promote justice. Whatsoever things then are pure, not dirty, not tainted, things that are pure. I need to get my thinking more pure, and my life will be more pure as well. Then he says, whatsoever things are lovely. God is love, so we need to be thinking about God and lovely things, the beauty that surrounds us in God's creation, the kindness that man shows one to another. It's easy to see the wickedness and to focus on the wickedness, but if we take some time to consider the things that are lovely and the things that are of good report, the good news of the world around us, we need to be looking at those things. If there's virtue, if there's praise, he says, think on these things. Why? Because as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Watch your thoughts. They become your actions. Watch your actions. They become your character and your habits. And watch your character and habits, because that becomes your destiny. God's going to judge the things of our heart, because the things of our heart eventually will come out of our hands and out of our mouths. And we need to be God's people. We need to be people who care about things that are on the upside, things that are beautiful, things that are lovely, things that are praiseworthy, and focusing on those things, something on which to meditate on this Monday.